everyone, and welcome to Sweat's Cuisine. I'm Ivy Harper, if you did not know. And today, I am making for the first time in my life, $1 million spaghetti. Now, special shout out and thanks to Joel Stratman for suggesting this video. And if you want to suggest a meal that you want me to make for the first time in my life, just comment below and I'll get to it as soon as possible if I have not made it before. Now, I have never had $1 million spaghetti before, so this video is more or less me seeing how well I can follow directions like usual, how well the recipe actually succeeds, and is it actually really good? Do I actually like the dish and the idea, which I think I will because it's literally just like spaghetti melded with lasagna, and I love both equally as much, so I feel like this will be very delicious. But sometimes I feel like recipes that look like they're going to work out do not work out, but I have a lot of high hopes for this. But more or less, as before, like a lot of these videos, I will be filming the ups, the downs, the successes, and the failures of this video and see how I deal with a recipe that I have never made before for the first time while filming. And of course, at the end of the video, I will be taste testing and showing off what I've made, taste testing it and seeing how it tastes, and seeing number one, is it delicious, and number two, did I do a good job? But with that being said, let us begin. Okay, so the water has been boiling for a while now. Not a while, just like a couple of seconds. I personally didn't want to like show off, me boiling water, because that is a very low bar to set for this video. But more or less, I got it boiling while I was prepping the onions and garlic. This is just like thin spaghetti, very simple, very easy. Also on sale, which makes it even better. So I'm just going to put it down like so, then pop it, and then take a good old spatula or wooden spoon, wooden spool. Oh my gosh, there are times where I just feel like I should not be filming right when I wake up. More or less, they are cooking like so. I will probably, stir around as it actually cooks more, and they're saying to boil to around 9 to 8 minutes. I'm going to do 7 because of I want it more al dente so it doesn't overcook. From there, I'm also going to preheat oven to 350. There we go. Okay, so we have the large skillet. It's a little bit warm. It's actually kind of quite hot right now. So we're just going to pour in a nice drizzle of olive oil. Oh, okay. Almost dropped the pepper that I never used, but it's still there for some reason. But here we go. Hopefully you can see that. My elbow's a little bit in the way, but from there, we're going to toss in onions and the garlic, which I actually just pre-cut like so. I just feel like it'd probably be easy just to pre-cut them beforehand. I actually cut my finger open while doing it. So always remember, guys, be careful where you cut. Make sure that your fingers are out of the way. I probably should know that, but sometimes you get lazy in the kitchen, and then before you know it, the world kind of whacks you for that laziness, and you get a huge cut in your finger. But more or less, from there, they are going to cook and sweat out a little bit for around 5 minutes or so, or until they're a little bit translucent. So pretty easy, pretty simple. As before, I feel like, again, this is a very, very simple and easy recipe. It's mostly just, can I follow directions like usual? Can everything come together in a nice cohesive way without me freaking out too much? And then finally, does the recipe actually taste good? Does the recipe do a good job making the dish really nice? As usual, the recipe will be in the description down below, so go check it out there. But from there, that's mostly it. I feel like a lot of the times when I make these videos, it's mostly just for me to see new recipes and new meals, and let you follow along and see how even somebody who is pretty competent in the kitchen can, have some troubles. Mostly because of my own laziness. But from there, I'm just gonna let these sweat out, cook down, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so the spaghetti has just finished, and I've already drained it, but we're just gonna continue on to the next step, which is pouring the spaghetti back in like so. Some of the spaghetti is a little bit uncooked still. I am hoping that the pasta will cook the rest of the time when we actually bake the whole dish. But from there, we're going to pour in, oh, it's a little bit loud, in the spaghetti sauce, I just have the carbonara marinara. That is not how you pronounce it, but I am from the Midwest, and I'm from St. Louis. And if you know what St. Louis, the history of St. Louis is, we're named after a French king whose name is Saint Louis, and we pronounce it St. Louis. So if I pronounce things wrong, you will know why. Because I'm from a place that pronounces its own name wrong. But from there, we're just gonna mix this up, just like so. And then I'm just gonna set this aside so it can just like, you know, hang out, do its little thing while we continue on. Okay, so we are back with the onions. They're pretty well, I'm gonna say they're translucent, they're probably not, but again, for me, I'm not gonna be really, you know, really gung-ho about this mess. Actually, I forgot. I'm supposed to put seasoning here. I completely forgot. So, Italian season, in we go. We're just gonna mix that around, pretend that it didn't happen. A little embarrassed, but ooh, it smells really nice now. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the sausage and we'll start cooking the sausage with the onions and garlic. Okay, so I just realized that the Italian season is supposed to go in with the good old Italian sausage, but I jumped the gun. But it's okay, it's Italian seasoning. It's not gonna freak out if it's in one step before something else. So, sweet sausage numero uno. Also, I have a little bit more than they asked for the sweet sausage, but you know, no one complained if there was more sweet sausage than there should have been in a recipe ever before, at least not in this family, aka me, because I'm the only person who will probably eat this. Yay, quarantine. But from there, we want this until there's no pink remaining. So it'll be a couple of minutes, so I'm gonna probably just like fast forward this. Okay, so we have the sausage cooked. Now, they says to drain this, but I'm lazy. And also I'm weak. But mostly I'm just lazy. And so I'm not going to drain it. Also, there's not a lot of grease in here. And I just don't want to go through that process. I'm already in pain with my finger. I don't want to like get burnt somewhere, but instead I'm just going to say grease is good, blah, blah, blah. I'm lazy. So instead, we're just going to go right into opening this stupid can of spaghetti sauce that I cannot open. There we go. Look at that. I'm strong. And we're going to pour it all in. Yep, pour it all in. I need to really stop just like guessing what I'm doing in this recipe and actually read it all the way through. But from there, I'm just going to mix this all around. This is honestly really fun. I feel like this would be a really, really great like family thing to do together. Like if we have like different people in the family doing each part, I think it would be incredibly fun. It's simple, it's easy, and it would be a great like teamwork activity. And it hopefully will result in a really, really good end result. But from there, we have our meat sauce done, so I'm just going to take it off the stove. Okay, so we have everything ready for our cheese sauce mixture thingamabob. We are going to be adding the hopefully softened cream cheese, the ricotta cheese or ricotta, but I'm from Missouri, so I'm gonna call it ricotta. Even though we have a very, very large Italian-American population here, so I'm gonna try to be correct when I pronounce stuff. Starting right now. And then, of course, the sour cream. There we go. And then, I'm gonna have 1 teaspoon of the Italian seasoning. And then finally, the mozzarella. Okay, so when I said I was gonna pronounce stuff correctly, I was wrong. But more or less, I'm going to just try to mix this all and combine it. And as I feared, the cream cheese is not very soft yet, but it's actually not that bad. So this will take a couple seconds though. Oh, actually I forgot to say, so I'm using this Greek yogurt cream cheese hybrid. I've used it for a really long time because it's healthier than regular cream cheese, which is not saying a lot because cream cheese is incredibly unhealthy. But it does have a slightly like sweeter taste than regular cream cheese, but I'm hoping that it will still be okay when it comes to this dish, but you never know. I just want to give you that update. If I say, oh, this is really sweet, or this tastes off, you'll know it's probably because of some, not clerical error, but, you know, some ingredient switcheroos. But I think it's the only, like, really big ingredient thing that I did differently. So it hopefully shouldn't be that big a deal, but I just want to let you know because, you know, it's fun to know how I limit myself because of restrictions on ingredients, my own laziness, or restrictions on region. But from there, we have our cheese mixture. And just like that, we are on to the last step. So, number one, this pan does not look clean, but it is clean. It is just really old and I am lazy and will not replace it. But it has done a lot of good work. It is completely clean. As you can tell, nothing's on it because, yep, no rust. I've already cleaned it really, really well. Okay, so there's a little rust there. So more or less, let us begin. So, first things first is to replace the half of the butter slices that are slowly melting because why not? I'll put them just equally around the pan. And then we're going to spread on half of the lasagna, half of the spaghetti into the dish. So we have it right here. Again, I feel like this is great for someone who does this, you know, ooh, this might not be big enough, this pan. I don't have a bigger pan. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna push on and hope everything's gonna be okay, but yeah, this is not as deep a pan as I thought it was going to be. Oh, shoot. Oh well, okay, we're gonna really hope that everything's gonna be okay. And I'm pretty sure this is 9 by whatever they wanted, so I'm just gonna hope. From there, next step is the cheese mixture. So give me 1 second. So the cheese goes in one huge layer. It's not another layer of cheese, so I'm just gonna get it all onto the dish. I'm gonna say it is okay. So, next step is rest of the spaghetti. There's not a lot I talk about while I do this, so apologies for me just being silent for a while, but yeah, it's mostly just like me doing it right than, you know, anything else. So there's not a lot of real commentary that I can do except me thinking, oh my gosh, this isn't even. I hope this actually, you know, doesn't overflow because it looks like it's gonna overflow. I'm freaking out. So from there, yeah, we're already at the top of this. I think I'm a little irritated with myself. How did I mess up? Yeah, we're already at the top. Shoot! Okay, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna hope that I'm just gonna hope that everything's gonna be okay. And we're probably gonna have an explosion in the oven. So, yeah. From there, just the rest of the butter. I'm actually kind of irritated because I swear I got the right pan, but I was never good at dimensions of pans. Watch me have the wrong dish, but I don't think this is gonna handle it. Can I find a bigger one? This is the newest thing. Okay, so, like everything in life, sometimes you need to adapt and change. For instance, I think we have to adapt and change. We have a bigger size pan right here. It is literally quite taller, and I'm hoping it's going to be bigger. It means that the layers are going to be totally off, but I'm hoping that that won't be a huge issue. So I'm going to make sure that this is the biggest pan though, because I really want this to work, and I'm just shocked that this is not big enough. So 1 second. It's literally the same size. So that won't work, but this might. Even though I'm pretty sure it's the same, because even though it is like higher, because it's circular, that might like take out the volume. So this might be the same exact size. Shoot. Do I want to risk it? I really don't. So I'm going to make the really bad executive decision to just continue, and if this thing starts overflowing, we will switch pans. We might actually have to make them into 2 batches too, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, there's quite a lot right here. I'm looking at this huge, I have a huge, a bigger, what's it called? Oh shoot, what is the name? It's a skillet, but it is a Dutch oven. There it is, Dutch oven. I might just use that. I don't know, but I don't know how it will, like, you know, deal with all the cooking, but we're gonna just do this first, and then if everything falls apart, we will make tiny little improvements. But honestly, me now spraying this around, it might fit, but there might be an overflow in the oven. There's a very high 1 in 3 chances that there will be an overflow Mount Vesuvius style eruption in the oven, which would make me incredibly depressed. Much like people who were in, you know, near Mount Vesuvius. I need to stop. Oh my gosh, there was a time when I was obsessed with Pompeii. Not obsessed, but I read a lot about it, and man, it have a lot of history behind it. Especially when you stop like reading like the child-friendly versions. I want to ask you guys, comment below, did you have like a moment in your life when you were a child where you were obsessed with like Greek or Roman history, like really obsessed? I feel like it's kind of the same thing for like, sometimes like, you know, people are really obsessed with like learning about serial killers or like dinosaurs or World War II. That's a really good one too. But like, I don't know, I might be just going crazy, but I feel like more and more during the internet, people realize that the things that they did as a child was like a shared collective experience that a lot of people did as a child. So it might not be a big deal. And all of that freak out was for naught, because look at that. It is kind of fitting together, but I'm pretty sure it will still overflow in the oven. But we're going to cross our fingers, hope it doesn't die. But more or less, I'm going to finish this up by pouring on a lot of cheese on top, which might be, you know, the catalyst to the whole, like, you know, Mount Vesuvius metaphor. But from there, I'm gonna grab the cheese and we'll finish this thing up. I just realized that on the picture, like, you know, of this recipe, the person, she had, what's it? Parsley, like fresh parsley on top of, you know, the cooked dish. And I do not have fresh parsley in the house, so I might just have to use dried parsley or no parsley. Oh shoot. We have the $1 million spaghetti all ready to go. So, oh, it is a heavy child. So I'm going to toss this lightly, gently into the oven. Okay. Please do not overflow, my big child. And we'll cook this for a whopping 40 minutes. It says 35 to 45. I'm gonna do 40 just to, like, you know, compromise. And while we wait, I'm going to clean all of this up. So fun, but that is the joys of cooking. It's not only the food, it is also the cleanup. But as a whole, I feel pretty great about this, and I'm really excited to see how it tastes. I'm gonna stop doing this because my arms are very weak and I am not used to vlogging, so I'm gonna continue, but I will see you back in the next clip. but for me it'll be like 40 minutes. So that's why I'm making this huge long send off, because I will feel like it's a very long time. Okay, so right now we are at 6 minutes till 40, but I was beginning to smell a little bit like it might be burning a little bit, so we're gonna just check it right now. I haven't opened this up. I wanted to show you guys, so let's see how it looks. Ooh, look at that! She's so pretty. Let's see. Nothing looks like, oh, it is kind of burning. Yeah, you can see like it's, I'm not sure if you can see that. Can you? Yeah, it's dripping. It is at 35. I think I want to take this out, and I don't want it to burn anymore. So yeah, we're going to stop the oven, and I'm going to get it out. Ow, my eyes. Ow. Ow, my eyes. There is smoke in that oven, and ow, my eyes. I just got smoke right into my eyeballs. Okay, so more or less, except for the burning stuff, it smells really good. I can see why now they said, you know, the recipe told us to take out the grease because it's very greasy, but I think it's gonna taste amazing. So I'm very, very excited. It is definitely molten lava style hot. So I'm going to try to clean up the oven, let this sit for like, you know, half an hour or so, and then we're gonna open this up. I'm kind of treating this kind of like a lasagna, where you have to like let the lasagna kind of, you know, cool down, set up, congeal back into itself. That sounds really disgusting, but that's more or less what it is. So I'm gonna do that, and also gonna try to figure out if I can stop the burning smell. Like, it smells really bad in the house. For a while it smelled really, really good, and then I think like burning began. So nothing looks burnt on here. It's just, you know, it overflowed a little bit, the greases and whatnot. And yeah, but from there, I'm gonna let this cool off, and I'll get back to you when it's, you know, more, not as hot. Okay, so it has not been 30 minutes, it's more been like 20 something minutes, but I'm getting really hungry and impatient, so we're just going, just move the whole entire table. We're just about to just continue. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? There we go. Ow, my finger really hurts. Ow, ow, ow. It's just because I cut it open and it's just hurting. So more or less, I'm going to just start cutting it because I'm impatient, and I think that it's not exactly lasagna, so my excuse is gonna be, it's not lasagna completely, so therefore, I can cut into it faster. But I put some nice like parsley and salt and pepper on it to give it a little bit more, you know, flavor, just in case. So we're just going to, there we go, and then so I'm just gonna have a little bit because I don't want to, like, it's very, very rich and delicious, and try to be healthy a little bit. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it looks something like that. It looks really, really good. I'm super excited. So I'm just going to put this aside, and then let's see how it actually tastes. Okay, so we are finally back, and here is the amazing $1 million spaghetti. I am super excited. It has been almost 2 hours, actually more than 2 hours, so quite a long time. I am very excited to try this out, so we're going to begin. It's a little cooled off. So it looks like this is a lot of the cheese mixture itself. Okay, so I have finished a nice little portion of the meal, and I apologize for hearing, you know, noise in the background, but more or less, let us talk about this dish. So number one, I was blown away. I feel like I had a lot of like high hopes because this does combine a lot of things that I love, but it comes together in a really, really good way. Now, it is much like lasagna. It's literally almost exactly like lasagna except, you know, the noodles, but the noodles do like bring it a new kind of like aspect. It doesn't feel as, you know, kind of separated. You know how like lasagna is, because of the lasagna noodles, they're very much like separated, and like you get layers of stuff, which is really, really good. But I feel like in this case, because they are spaghetti noodles, you get more like homogeneous combination, was really, really nice. The cheese does come out a lot, but it honestly goes really, really well with the meat sauce and the spaghetti. I feel like if there was less of the meat or the marinara, it would probably be kind of like too much or like too rich. But to me, everything is in perfect balance. You know, there's enough marinara sauce to keep the meat balanced, and then there's enough cheese, because I feel like sometimes with you know, spaghetti dishes, there's not enough like cheese or like some kind of like buttery fat to cut through the acidity of the marinara sauce and the fattiness of the meat. And I feel like with a lot of cheese that is in this dish, it really does like cut through and like mellow out the acidity. The marinara sauce, the acidity of the marinara sauce keeps the fattiness, especially because, you know, I had so much grease in mine. It keeps the fattiness completely not being there. Like, it's still there, but you can't taste it being greasy. I feel like everything works in harmony to balance each other out, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. As before throughout the video, I feel like this is a perfect meal to have with family. I feel like if you made this with like a family or your friends, it would be perfect, because if you have two people working together on like, you know, each like component of the dish, like two people or one person at you know, spaghetti, one or two at meat, one or two at cheese, and then all together putting it together, it would be incredibly fun. And because it's so easy, it wouldn't be, you know, a tasking horrible thing. It would be this amazing experience that would be like really, really fun and communal. And even by it myself, I never felt stressed out or freaked out at all. I always felt like I was being paced really well. So if you're a beginner cook, this is a really, really great dish. Now, one thing is, there are a lot of leftovers. Like, there's gonna be a lot of food left. And so if you're the only person in your family at the time in your household who is a meat eater, and you're in quarantine, so you can't, you know, give leftovers to people without, you know, making them feel a little worried about like contamination, then you have a lot of leftovers left. But as a whole, I absolutely love this dish. I felt it was perfectly balanced. I felt it was perfectly easy, but also fun, and it kept me going. It wasn't like too easy, but it wasn't too hard. It was like this great place for like leisurely cooking, which I really, really love. And most importantly, it was delicious. So with that being said, when it comes to my rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being absolutely horrible, I can't even finish it, 10 being it's phenomenal, it's, you know, it blew me away, I'll have this again and again and again, I'm gonna give this a solid 10. I don't give a lot of 10s, but I feel like this is a perfect dish for a potluck, for a big meal, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun eating this. It'll be a very long time of me eating this because I am trying to be healthy, but we're gonna see how that goes. But more or less, it's phenomenal. And honestly, even by itself, it's great. And I feel like if having it with a salad, having it as a main dish, and then having like, you know, healthy entrees, it will be absolutely perfect. A perfect dinner for your family or for yourself. I feel like it is phenomenal, and honestly, everybody should try it because it's great, and it's kind of like a beginner step to get to lasagna, because lasagna can be a lot of work, and this is a great like kind of like stepping stone to get to a lasagna experience. As before, thank you so much, Joel Stratman, for stretching this video, and of course, if you want to stretch your own videos, comment below. But that being said, that's the end of the video, so of course, if you like this video, click a like. If you want to see more from just subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you next time, and as usual, goodbye.